What's poppin' YouTube? It's your boy Jolin and we back at it with another video. Now, I don't talk about it a lot and I don't claim to be the best at it, but time and time again, I find myself on my phone clicking on that prize picks and that DraftKings, basically just, kind of betting on whatever games is happening. Now, with basketball starting, it's starting to pick up a little bit. People's kind of warming up and, we kind of seeing what's about to happen. Now, usually with basketball, I don't have a play for every single team. I'm not watching every game trying to see what people gonna do, but I do have certain players on different teams. You know what I mean? I'm a Laker fan all day, but I got players on certain teams that whenever they playing, I just expect them to perform well. And as long as, as long as the prop is right, I'm down to put them on the slip. And a lot of times I'll sit there and I'll spam the player. You know what I mean? I might run 3-4 slips with the same player, just different prop. But let me know in the comment section before we even, talk about what's going on. Let me know if you ever put Scary Terry Rozier on one of your slips for the over. Now, Terry was one of my guys. If you don't know who Terry Rozier is, a few years ago he used to play for the Hornets, you feel me? And now he's playing for the Miami Heat. And he's a good player, you feel me? I looked at him a few years ago the same way I kind of look at Anthony Edwards right now. He performs well, he's a shooter, and he's all around entertainment on the court. So I like the dude. So anytime that I would see Terry Rozier playing against anybody, you feel me? As long as the matchup was right and they wasn't, taxing on the prop, I throw him on there for the over every time, you feel me? Especially that 3-point prop. Now, it's looking like my man just got scooped up by them folks, you feel me? It's looking like, back in 2023, he was about to play against the Pelicans, you feel me? They had Big Zion out there, you feel me? Now, usually, like I said, anytime that I seen Terry Rozier, especially if I think it's going to be a good matchup, I'm going to throw him on the slip for the over, you feel me? Especially them 3 points. Now, it's looking like he must have been talking to some illegal sports gamblers and he must have told them, hey, allegedly, hey, you know what? I'm not going to be playing that on this game for very long. So if I was y'all and I wanted to make some money, I might just take the over on this night right here. And so people got word of that and they started spamming the under on Terry, spamming it, boom, boom, boom. Everybody, hundreds of thousands of dollars is going in the pot. You feel me? And Prize Picks and Underdog and all of them, they started seeing that traction on that under and they like, hold on. Do y'all know something that we don't know? So they ended up flagging his props that day for suspicious activity on the prop. So when he went out there, usually I want to say Terry Rozier was averaging about 32 minutes a game, maybe, between 20 and 22 points. So that night, you feel me, he went out there and he only played for about, I want to say maybe 10 minutes. And then he complains about, oh, I'm hurt. I got a foot injury. Hold on, nigga. You feel me? And all of them people who put that money down on that under, they ended up coming on a lot of bread that day. And I guess allegedly, Terry goes and he, meets up with the people that he gave this information to, like, hey, I told y'all I wasn't going to be playing very long, so, let's bust down the paper. And they gave him some money, like on the, hey, good looking out on the prop, same time, same thing next game, you feel me? Holla at us. And he didn't do it a whole bunch of times, but the fact that he did it once, I know I can't be the only person who went on Prize Picks or DraftKings or whatever you put your bets in and locked in a slip that was looking so nice that there was no way. You basically, getting ready for the club because you just know that this slip is about to hit. You about to have a little paper in your pocket. That first prop hit, bing, green. That second prop, the game is going and it's looking okay, and then the shit don't hit. And you sitting there looking at this motherfucking game or you looking at your phone like, this shit gotta be rigged. Somebody knows something. Cause sometimes, these apps will put, key props at the top like, hey, take this person right here. 15 points. They usually score 20. You might as well just do it. And they must be knowing something that I don't know, because a lot of the times when you pick the over on those, some kind of way they end up doing 18 points, you feel me? Or sometimes if the prop is 20, they'll get 18 points. If the prop is like 15, they'll end up getting like 7 points. They were taken out of the game or they were injured. And like I said, a lot of times I be thinking the shit is rigged. But this is a perfect example of one of them times. You feel me? I'm not gonna lie. When these basketball players is out there and they, getting bumped a little bit and they sliding across the floor, grabbing their knees and ankles and stuff like that, talking about they hurt. Now I'm gonna have to look at a nigga with the magnifying glass, because sometimes I be thinking that they be sports betting on they self for the under, you feel me, and underperforming on purpose just to get that little bit of extra bread. And you feel me, it's unfortunate that this man Terry Rozier had to be, the headline for this fraud shit right now. But I put a lot of money on my man. Like I said, I didn't put the over. If I scroll through my Prize Picks account, I probably put him on at least 20, 30 slips. And I'm saying at least, maybe like a lot more. You know what I mean? So it's unfortunate that he, ended up deciding to, trick the fans, but he came up on a little bread. But my thing is, hey, now that you is exposed, what about all them people who lost money that day that you decided to go out there and go do this fluke shit, and people lost a lot of money because they was believing in you? I'm one of those guys. I guarantee if I look through my phone right now and I was able to scroll back and look at the Terry Rozier slips that I put in, the game was on March 23rd. So if I scroll back on my phone, I guarantee I probably put the play in for my man. I don't know if I put in a PRA, but I'm pretty sure if he was playing that day, like I said, they was going to have Zion out there. So that I was going to be locked in watching that game. And it's just unfortunate because I'm just like, it could be millions of dollars on the line right now that people lost. And people, you know what I mean? You would really have to go back and check it out. But it looked like my man, he gonna be having to do some time. They not just about to let this nigga, you feel me, slide out of there like a home run, you feel me? He gonna have to really sit and do some time, because he looking at money laundering and he looking at wire fraud, suspicions. You know what I mean? That's what I'm gonna say. So it's not looking good for my man. And not only that, that they not gonna let my man come back to the Miami Heat and be playing, because now it's a bad look for the NBA organization. You out there faking injuries and shit, and people is betting on you, and we paying you. So it's like, yo, if you gonna be out there bullshitting, we don't even want you part of the organization. So the contract that we gave you, it's over. All of them endorsements and stuff that you might have had, cut it out. You feel me? So it's looking real bad. Hopefully my man Terry put a little bit of money so he can fight this case. And, once he get out of the case, if he don't got to do a whole bunch of time, hopefully my man, we don't see Terry Rozier working at the local Walmart somewhere, because that's not a good look. But yeah, man, let me know what y'all think. Does sometimes y'all be thinking that a lot more players than just him, like maybe he just caught the straightest one time? We don't know who told, but I think, and let me know what you think, if a lot of these players is doing shit like that, because too many times we be taking the over on them. And I feel like a lot of the time, especially in NBA, the season just started, so I don't know what it's gonna be looking like in a couple weeks, but a lot of these times, less is more when you doing sports betting. I'd rather say, hey, that nigga is not gonna hit, and if he hit, then he deserved to take my money or whatnot. But I'm about to get out of here, so let me know what y'all think. And as always, you already know what it is, and you know who it is. It's Jolin, it's Varsity. Peace.